All right, we punched it early. 3 o'clock on the dot. And getting things booted up. Welcome everybody. It is another Wednesday. Next week is Thanksgiving already, so that's a thing. Also, one thing I need to check, which isn't a big deal, but if I go to my channel, the first video I put out was way back, I think almost exactly a year from now. So I'm going to check it out here. 11 months. So we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of this whole YouTube channel. Essentially, I technically started beginning of 2024. I put a couple videos out, but they weren't this. So yeah, it's been just about a year doing the business video stuff. Super exciting. Let's see who we got here. Random Joe Gamer. Hey, how's it going? I got your email, by the way. Just haven't responded. Zaid, welcome to the chat. Chad, welcome to the chat. Jeff, welcome to the chat. Trans Tim Kenny, welcome to the chat. Yes, and Black Friday is coming up. That's a great point, which means sales. And Bamboo Black Friday. Actually, I think Bamboo Black Friday may have already started. I just did another filament purchase and got 30 rolls of matte black, and they're only $10.99 right now for filament. So that is actually really good because I am running low. Darth Factorum, welcome to the chat. Glad you are here. Hello, Thomas. Is it Tom? It's got I'm never going to pronounce it correctly with the, what is it? It's not an umlaut. That's German, right? Hey, Troy's Garage. Yeah, right now is a good time to buy filament if you get it from Bamboo. I don't know who else is doing filament deals, but it is relatively cheap at the moment, which is nice, obviously. Yeah, let's see here. They also, news-wise, just released that the P2S is now available for sale in the United States. I don't need a printer, I don't think. I've got a whole bunch of updates on the shop today, and there's a reason I haven't put a video out yet, and I'll explain it here in a minute. I've been running around with my head cut off, it feels like. Welcome, Printed Trucker. Hey, Tom, glad you're here. Shats in the Dark. Just got 40 rolls. Love it. And you got the H2S. That's cool. Hey, Jeff, glad you're here. Cool. Well, as people stream in, let me give you some updates on what's going on. So orders have picked back up, and I've got a whole shelf full of orders over here. I've got some on the printers, and then I've still got a whole bunch outstanding. The big thing that's going on is all 4 of my Bamboo P1Ss stopped working this week. And they all stopped working within a few days of each other, and they all stopped working in the exact same way. I actually have a failed print here as an example. I haven't taken it off to address this problem, but this is an example of what's been happening on my P2 or P1Ss. It will print perfectly, absolutely perfect for a good while if it can get the first layer down, and then it just completely stops printing. It's clearly an extrusion issue, and I have torn apart these machines, every single one of them, I think 3 times this week, and done a full sweep of all the problems. I'm trying to solve so many things, and there's so many variables that I'm just losing my mind. I actually had my dad come over yesterday and had him help me go through all of the machines, help me clean them, and then the other piece of this is I actually just put back up, I put online all 4 of my Bamboo A1 minis. So I think I just saw somebody in here saying, where was it? They're thinking about selling their A1 minis. Did I see that in here? Dun, dun, dun. Oh no, debating on selling my A1 and A1 mini to get another Core XY printer. What do y'all think? I say do not do it. Right now, my A1 minis are saving my bacon. They've been kind of offline for, I don't know, a little while, maybe a month or so. And when my dad came over, we did a full clean on them. We did a calibrations and we did relubrications on all the rails. Set them back up, and man, the prints are gorgeous. Now, it's a little bit inconvenient because there are quite a few different products through my partnership that fit on a single P1S plate, but they don't fit on an A1 mini plate all at once. So for some orders, I am having to do extra prints, but I can fulfill those orders, which is important. The thing that drives me nuts about this is, like, you can see how perfect this first layer is, and even the walls there, and then it just stops. It looks like a nozzle clog to me. I have noticed some nozzle clogging, but I don't know if I got a bad batch of filament or what for Bamboo's stuff and the matte filament. It's honestly driving me nuts. So if you guys have any ideas, that would be fantastic. I have not done it yet, but it is on the list today. I ordered 4 rolls of Polymaker matte, and then also I do have some Elegoo. I meant to buy Airy one, but I got Elegoo, and I'll be testing those out on the printers to see if those work on the printer where it's failing with the Bamboo matte. Then I'll know that it is it's maybe a filament issue. I can rule out the AMS because we stripped it all the way down, and it's going directly from the external mount where you just one spool at a time into the head, and it's still causing the issue. Transcam Kenny, I am running the, what do you call it, hardened steel extruder gears and nozzle. So I know those aren't damaged, so that's good. And whatnot. But let me see, I'm missing some questions here. Hey, Stephen, welcome to the chat. Hey, Muggs Ferguson. Hello, Fernando. Hey, Stuart. Yeah, and those P1Ss are on sale now, too, for, like, tons of stuff. Tom. Mayor Dad, get out of here. If anyone's curious, my business partner is trolling me in chat right now. Mayor Dad, he asked me that question yesterday too. I've turned them on so many times and off so many times. But Tom says, have you tried reslicing the part? Sometimes I found glitches with the Bamboo Studio software and the P1S firmware. Yes, I've tried reslicing the parts many times. I have now, which I need to do a little bit more experimenting with, is actually doing the slicing of the product, exporting it as a pre-sliced file. So the G code, it's kind of weird. It goes like name of the file, dot G code, dot 3MF, opening that up and then sending it over to the printer to see if that works. I just haven't had time yet to do all of that experimentation. I'll be doing that kind of this evening. I do have one of my P1Ss working fine at the moment. That one is odd because it prints PLA fine, like regular PLA. It's specifically the matte stuff that I'm having issues with. And so it was printing PLA fine, and I did multiple prints with that for some orders. And I think that maybe the PLA that's been running through the printer has actually cleaned out the nozzle. I think there's still debris stuck in the nozzle for sure in those other ones, and I don't have replacement nozzles at the moment. Well, I might be able to get out my stainless steel potentially, but either way, I think maybe running a few test prints on like on the PLA might strip out any of the residual leftovers from the matte filament, and then I can try running that again. So that's another test I need to do. But yeah, it's crazy. Printed Trucker says, have you tried the New Maker's ice grip plate? I haven't. And I really don't switch plates around just because as long as it sticks to the build plate and it has the surface finish I need, that's really all I want. So that's what it is. It's been working fine for me. I do have really good bed adhesion, so that's good at least. And also to rule out any bed adhesion issues, I don't have it in here, but I've been using 3D Lac, the spray, to guarantee that it's not a bed adhesion issue. Yes. Random Joe Gamer says, farm loop those A series. I know you don't have the volumes now, but it'd be fun to play with. you can batch on multiple products and snip out the code. Yes, actually, that's I won't be using Farm Loop, but I'm going to be testing. There will be some videos coming out. There's a sponsorship. I am receiving some stuff to kind of test out and showcase on the channel, and they will be using the A1 Minis, and I will be doing some automation on those in an upcoming video. So that I think it's coming in the mail tomorrow. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but you'll find out soon enough. The first thing that I would like to try is maybe these little gears I made, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in today's stream. Let's see here, other questions. Chad says, did Bamboo update their profile with the PLA matter and screw it up? Very well, honestly, very well. Yeah, it's really hard to specify exactly what it is, especially because it happened on all machines. So because it's happening on all machines, it to me is environmental or software is ideally the problem. But one of the results of the issue was clogging the nozzles, and then inside of the nozzles, you know, this right here, this is one of them that I need to clean back out, but you know, inside this chamber in the gears, it's getting all ground and macerated in this section right here. And then I did a short on that a while back when I had this issue. But when that happens, that issue isn't the root cause, but then is a future problem for all other prints. So you have to clean this out, and then it just really becomes a nightmare to diagnose what's going on. Especially when I have like a backlog of orders that I'm working on, and that's definitely fun to have that stress on it as well. Because the last thing we want to do is send people notifications that there's going to be a delay on getting stuff out. So yeah, not looking to do that. So we're putting in a huge effort to get everything out. Like last night I was up till 2 a.m. Well, I was up a little later, but I switched prints over at 1:30 a.m. On the A1 Minis. I stayed up so I could make that happen. And then, yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good though. Let's see here. 3D Focus says, what's your opinion about the Cool Plate Super Tack? I really like it. I use the Super Tack plate for a couple products, and primarily I use it for a surface finish because it gives you a specific look. It looks just like the top layer of a well-calibrated printer. So I do use it, but I don't use it just because to use it. I use it for the surface finish, and then otherwise I just use the textured build plate. Tim Kennedy says, do you ever notice quality differences between Bamboo Lab filament and other brands? And the answer is not really. I've also not done a real side-by-side test, so it's hard to tell. There's obviously a little bit of color variation even between like a black matte and a black matte. But yeah, I've not really seen, like, I've never been disappointed, I can say that. The only disappointment I've had in filaments are maybe they're too shiny or glossy when I want them to be like really matte. Let's see here. Random Joe Gamer says, any thoughts on the H2C? Fantastic printer. It would just fill up. I don't have the space for it. You know, when I build the garage next year, that's the plan. I'm hoping to build a garage next summer and move my studio out there. I can specify space for that, right? I can have a spot where I can maybe get a couple H2Cs, and that can be a goal. I'm really interested in the tool changer, which would be a big reason to get the H2C, and that just came out yesterday, I think. So definitely interested in all of that. Ben Gill says, do you or can you on Etsy do A/B testing on listing thumbnail photos? Yes, you can duplicate listings, and then you can have both of them with different thumbnails. So yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty common tactic. I don't know if Etsy, from the last I knew, Etsy was fine with that. But yeah, I don't see why you couldn't still do it. David Mann says, have you tried PETG with the Bamboo Cool Super Tack plate? I have not tried PETG, and I have not tried, what's the other one? PETG and TPU, because I hear that they can stick too well, and I don't want to risk damaging them because, yeah, I just don't want to risk damaging them. Yeah. Okay, quick update here on the channel. Not only are we near a year here, but if I go to YouTube Studio, oh, we just hit it. Before I logged on today's stream, I was at 16,999 subs, but we can pretend we're still there. But we're at 17,001 sub. That's super cool. So I appreciate everybody following along. If you do like, following this and the information and the live streams and stuff, likes on the videos, comments specifically, and also, subs do help just get dispersed. YouTube has this weird thing where, like, even though you have an engaged audience, they'll stop like sending your content. So I can see that with my normal long form videos, the reach of those videos has gone down a lot. Inherently, like, they're just not getting shown the same amount to the people who've already subbed. So not even looking for like new audience, just like to stay engaged with the people who are, following this journey. So if you guys want to like and sub and do all that stuff, it does help a lot, and it will help kind of encourage YouTube to show, hey, I put out a new video to those already following the journey. What else? So that's cool. Oh, the other thing. So I put up a new listing. Let me actually show you guys because I think it's cool. Let me go to my store here, my actual store. So if I go to the web, let me change my screen capture to window. All right. You guys can see that. So here's a listing that I put up a little while ago, and like last weekend, wasn't it? Did I put it up last weekend? I think. Maybe on Sunday, actually. I think I put it up on Sunday. I'm literally losing track of my days because between taking care of my daughter and everything else, my days are just like mushed together. Sorry, I need to move my window around a little bit here. Does that still follow? It did not follow. I need to grab this guy. All right. One more second. I'm juggling windows here. Okay. Anyway, go back to this guy. So I put this up for reference. Arc Raiders, if you don't know, is a fantastic game. I've been playing that game, but I made and 3D modeled some gears, and then I've been painting them. Got two styles. Got 1 and 2. That one's not focusing. There we go. Looks pretty cool. Little keychain guy, and this one, I did like 15 bucks for the keychain and 30 for the big guy. This is what I would like to automate. Oh, and I should probably put it right there. There you go, so you can see it better. Sold my first one today, which is fantastic. So, I mean, that's like, again, I've put products up before, many products, and they don't sell for months. So, getting a product up that's the right time, it looks good. It really is a product and timing with your stuff. So this just goes back to the conversation that we have a lot, that is like, if you put something up and you are discouraged because you're not getting a sale, it's either just not the right time, you need to work on the listing to make it a little bit better, or you need to think of a new product. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I've had that happen a lot for me, but it's really cool to see that this already got a sale. For reference, I've got junk all over my desk, but the way I'm doing the photos with that is I just have the little infinity wall here with some gray paper. And then I also 3D printed this to put in the background of the photos, just to give it some extra pop. And then on the first one, I did I did some editing, so it kind of looked like that. But anyway, super cool. I'm going to be modeling some more of that stuff. I was doing a little bit of that last week, but I know one person said it last weekend or last Wednesday, but if you would like to buy, feel free to head over to my Etsy shop and you can pick one of these up. It'll be an interesting experiment because this is a little bit different than my normal products I do, because I'm painting them. So when I started this journey, I was very much of, I'm just gonna print a product, comes off the printer, goes in a box. And this one, I'm like, let's spend a little bit of time and do some creative stuff. And what's interesting is the painting makes each one a one of one. They really are different. Each one is different because you just can't replicate the paint the way I do it. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me change back to the other screen. I know I'm shorthanding your name again, but you ask, how are November sales for you and how is Amazon going? Remember, we paused on Amazon for a minute, even though I keep saying it's on my list, because I just don't, out of my priority list and the time I have during the day, it is medium to high on the pack, but it is not, I just don't have the time to learn that new system. There are lots of potential opportunities to make money on Etsy, and orders are picking up already. So I really just need to dump extra effort in there and get some new products out. And I would have been doing that more this week if it wasn't for all of my printers going down and needing to repair those. So crazy. It's been a little bit hectic around here. And then let's see here. I thought there was another, oh, and then the other one was, how are November sales going for you? Fantastic. We are on pace to have the best month of the year. And we're not even to the last week of November, which is when primarily people kind of wait and then dump a bunch of cash into Black Friday. So I need to get my sales actually queued up. I might do my maybe do like a week-long Black Friday sale instead of just waiting. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe do like a partial sale and then do a bigger one. I mean, I'm making sales on my shop without even doing any discounts. So, yeah, I've been so busy. I haven't even thought about what sales I'm going to be running, but I have to run some kind of sale. Let's see here. Sean Daly, welcome to the stream. Yes, I am doing well. I am just a little tired. Late nights, but I've been having fun. I'll be honest, like some of this stuff, I've just been having to start the printers and then monitor them for a little while because I've been having issues. So I'll start the printer, I'll boot up Arc Raiders and play a game of Arc Raiders while I'm waiting for it to finish or fail, which has been the case this week. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. Let's see. Printed Trucker says, have no problems with the Bamboo PETG HF on any plate. Effect plates, I simply add some Vision Miner nanopolymer. Interesting. I do have one of those carbon fiber texture plates, and I have just not used it yet. Still have it wrapped up, actually. Let's see. Jeff says, I've been really enjoying Arc Raiders and I was brainstorming ideas. Won't take this one, but I'll find some others from the game. Yeah, I think there's a lot in there. Yeah, there's a lot of things in Arc Raiders. And also it's a first mover advantage too, to some extent. But I think at least for my shop, right? And that's the other piece. One, you do have to know how to model this. And I think there's a good group of people in here who know how to model model well like this. But it's the painting that I think is going to hold a lot of people back from having a really good product. They might just leverage the 3D printer when in reality, like, I benefit from having an airbrush and all of the miniature paints because that's a hobby of mine. So I can then apply that. I don't know how far those little 5-ounce bottles, like how far is a little bottle this size going to go on painting these gears. We'll find out. Good thing, like, you know, the cost gets spread over all the gears and you can dilute it. But Devin, welcome to chat, says, that's cool, helps explains things for me. I listed some things on my Etsy similar to what's selling well on my shop. No sales yet, but maybe because it wasn't the right time. Yeah, you know, it's just really hard to fully understand. I think it is like definitely a trial and error kind of thing. Anton, welcome to stream, says, I don't know if this has been asked a lot, but do you do anything for air quality? It's been asked a ton. It's okay that you're asking as well. And the answer is no, I don't. I just primarily print with PLA, and it has very low VOCs. So I'm not concerned about it. I am in an open space despite my little workshop. I'm in an open space downstairs, so not super concerned about anything like that. at the moment. I do have a resin printer that I'm going to be doing a video on. Just been obviously tied up with fixing my shop. And that I do have ventilation for, and that will be covered in the video. Reasonably Awkward says, Arc Raiders is based. Yes, 100%. June Esma says, what types of products sell well? Lots of products, and that's not really... It's funny because my videos on YouTube will kind of like do this, right? They'll like not be showing anything, and then one will get picked up again, and whatnot. And one of those videos is how to start a 3D printing business. And I don't give specifics. And the reason I don't give specifics, and this is one of those, what products do I sell? Well, I can't give you a specific, here, go sell this product, because either it's like competitive or, I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought. There's a lot of reasons why you can't. I mean, like, that is probably one of the biggest barriers to actually getting this going is that question of what do I sell? Now, I can guide you on that journey, and I would say, you know, solve a problem that you personally have, and keep it simple. At the beginning, it's really rapid iteration to figure out what works. So list a lot of things and see kind of what sticks and what doesn't. If something doesn't stick, just move on. If you really want some help, I'm going to plug myself again. My Patreon, I do have a one-page worksheet that you can use. It's the same questions and stuff I ask myself as I go through that process that might help you brainstorm. It's like $5 or something. It's a PDF. You can download it and print it off or do whatever you want with it. So you can check that out, but same kind of information. One Man 3D says, got my Etsy shop open last Friday and views and visits galore, but no sales yet. Should I start ads or wait a couple organic sales? Well, you can't start ads within 15 days or 14 days of starting a shop, so you've got a wait period anyway. And I spent $200 on my magnet shop in ads, and I didn't get a single sale. So to me, that one of my things on my list is reframing how to do that and how to sell those products. I was selling them individually. You could select as many as you wanted, but you like, here's the collection, pick the ones you want. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is saying, here's the 5 magnets, you buy all 5 together, it costs $20 or whatever. So that's what I need to retool that shop. But if you can drive sales organically, do it that way. And then once you see what's working, then put some money behind those products. Let's see here. Darth Factorium says, what filaments have you tried? Or maybe you guys are, yeah, I think I missed something here. Muggs and Ferguson says, Protopasta makes an iron-filled metal composite PLA that will actually rust. Now, that is crazy. That could be a premium thing. I should check that out. Hold on. Protopasta iron PLA. That's nuts. What do you do? Just soak it in water? It is pricey. That's cool. Wow, that's really cool. I might have to buy a spool of that. Maybe I can do a special. The other thing to consider is that will chew up a nozzle, so I have to use hardened steel there. But what I would say is maybe do a limited run. I might check out the Protopasta and do a limited run product. The other thing, you have to calibrate it too, so it gets a little tricky. Let's see here. You says, would you ever be up for trying to sell a subscription for STLs, especially for products that are interesting but you do not want to sell for whatever reason? I'm not agreeing to anything, but I just want to ask, is anybody actually interested in that? You must be, because you asked the question. So I'm kind of asking everybody here, is that even something that people are interested in? Because I think there's a lot of people out there who do that already, obviously with their own designs. So it'd be different designs since I model my own stuff. But there's a reason I haven't, and when you license your STL files in that way for commercial use, you become your business becomes enforcing the licensing agreement. Like, that is the business. So I know with Cinderwigs, some people have actually thrown her stuff up on like Maker World and whatnot, and I think it probably got pulled down eventually. But you know, if somebody shares those STL files, which is super easy to do, that is your business, right? And you have to enforce it. And contracts, licensing agreements are only as good as they can be enforced. I have no interest in trying to enforce those contracts because it just sounds like a nightmare. So the STLs I sell on my store and stuff are products that I like, that I use for myself, but I don't find profitable enough to actually like make it worth my time to sell them on Etsy. So potentially, and I also don't want to position you guys and set you up to sell things either that wouldn't work well on Etsy. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. But I mean, yeah, if everybody's like, you should do this, I mean, I guess I can at least sell some of the STLs, but I think I had one more thought on that, but can't remember what I was going to say. Let's address this scam buyer thing. So I see some people chatting in here about scam stuff on Etsy. If you receive messages on Etsy saying, hey, I made a purchase and this doesn't work, or it looks like Etsy, there's a good chance it is a scam. Do not click on it. When Etsy messages you on Etsy, they have a verified account and it shows that it's verified. And it's generally never about your orders. It's generally always about like, hey, we're doing this webinar and you should join or something. So just be careful. I've seen those scams come through too, but it's usually through messages, and especially on new products. That's when I normally see it. When I list new products, you generally get one scam message saying, hey, we just purchased your thing. And I'm like, no, you didn't, because I have no orders. Yeah. Let's see. Norbert says, what kind of tools do you use for rusted gear painting? I use an airbrush to do the full coat. And then I use a sponge and some other paint to do the actual coating. And then if I want to get really fancy, I'll do a wash, which is just some really cheapo, black paint watered down, essentially, just to kind of tie everything together. But yeah, pretty simple. Looking for another question. Jeff says, I have a product that became an Etsy bestseller and was routinely first listed on the category without ads. It's worth to put ads on it. I did $5 a day and didn't see an increase in sales. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't see an increase in sales, then no, probably not. It really comes down to the numbers, right? I would say with advertising campaigns, though, you do have to expect, like, if you want to really get data to understand if it's working or not, expect to spend like $200 to $300 on ads to get enough data to actually see if they're working or not. And that's specifically on Etsy. When I was working in marketing, you'd really have to spend closer to like a couple $1,000s to actually get enough data to say, hey, are we making moves here or not? Which I know for everybody here, me included, is not reasonable. But that is pretty common. And over time, that inherently just gets more expensive because of, I don't know, because companies raise their price on advertising, even though it doesn't cost more for them to serve ads. Theoretically, with more internet access, cheaper electricity, which also is not happening, but that's also weird. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are like, theoretically, the more you have, the less they should be, but they're going the opposite. So whatever. Advertising is one of those. 3D Focus says, do you have some advice for marketing my 3D printed products? Like, which platforms do you recommend? Whichever one you're comfortable with. You will find an audience probably on any of the platforms. But for me, I am a big YouTube guy. I've always been on YouTube, used YouTube a lot. It's the only like subscription I really pay for because I watch it enough that I don't want ads. And for that reason, YouTube's kind of my space. You know, I'm not good at Instagram. I'm not good at all the other ones. So yeah, pick whatever you're most comfortable with and stick with that. It's better to be really focused on one channel than spreading yourself thin. Let's see here. Reasonably Awkward says, I'm looking for the filament and would like to know what your favorite filament is. I don't really have a favorite. That's unfortunate because that's not the answer you want. But I like the bamboo stuff because it's, especially right now, cheap. It's not the cheapest, which I'm not focused in on price, but it's got the RFID tags, so it automatically scans and marks it in the AMS unit, which is really, really handy. Let's see here. What else? Question. Anton says, what's your opinion on fairs? Like going to a fair and selling at a fair? I think it's a good idea. I just have not really gotten in that groove or like done that yet. I looked at doing one that's coming up in December, but they wanted like you had to have a 10 by 10 booth. They wanted some photos. They wanted an itemized list of every product you're planning on selling with photos and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't have time to do that. I don't even have a booth set up. I don't even have enough product to fill a booth that space. I don't even have the printer capacity right now to like dedicate and hammer out all of those products that I want to sell. So I was like, and they wanted a couple $100. So, and the application wasn't a guarantee you'd get in. So I think I will do some other stuff locally, but I think just I'm not gonna right now. Again, there's so much opportunity when it comes to markets, right, and fairs. Your reach is limited, potentially less competitive because, you know, for the most part, people walking by are gonna at least look at your shop. But yeah, you have more opportunities. So if you can get a product to sell well, it can definitely do more. It is nice to have that local credibility though in networking. And that's kind of what I'd be interested in doing it for. Yanni Paki. Oh my gosh. Oh, excuse me. I think I'm going to need a dad nap after this. Probably not. I have to go watch my daughter. But anyway, Yanni Paki says, did you buy anything or have recommendations for Black Friday? I don't. I've not even looked, honestly. I think printers are going to go on sale, but if I can get my printers back up and running full tilt, you know, I'm good. So I'm going to be floating. I'm just going to take that money, put it in the business. Take the money, put it in the business. I don't need to spend it. I'm going to pay myself out this year. Last year, I broke even because I reinvested all the money. This year, I'm going to make money, and I am making money, and I want to put that on my bank account. So, but I don't have any money in my bank account. It's just like all business stuff now. But at the end of the year, after I do my taxes, I would like a big tax return from my business that comes to me as a big check, and we'll get there. So let's see here. So I think I missed someone's question here about mic fright. Yeah, there it is. Muggs says, how did you get over mic fright when you did your last video? I have a really easy answer for this, but I'm trying to like figure out a good analogy of something to do. I don't have a clear analogy. I'm just like, I'm a 2 a.m. kind of guy right now, so I'm a little tired. Let's see. Mic fright is not something you get over. It is something you practice. So I've been uploading videos on YouTube for about 6 or 8 years. This is not my first channel. The other ones clearly didn't go anywhere because I would be doing those channels. If one of them popped off, I would have never even stumbled into this channel. That being said, it's hard to remember way back, but it's just practice. And the nice thing is you can delete all the footage. So if you are trying to film for yourself, What I would say is go ahead and film with no intention to share with anybody. And if you hate it, just delete it. And that's the nice thing. So it's really just getting in front of camera and practicing. I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to music, so I play guitar and sing. That's like, I've been doing that for years. But every once in a while, I'll pull the camera gear out, maybe with some of my microphone stuff, and try to like record. And man, that's like, if you just hand me a guitar, I can play some music. But if you want me to record that, I trip over myself. So it is, yeah, it's a different animal. It's really weird, but it just takes a lot of practice to do it. I'd rather go do open mic night than record music. I think that's more enjoyable than recording music. So yeah, practice. I have done, I did open mic night way back in college, and the first song I did in this set, it was my first time like actually doing like music and singing in front of a large group of people. And that first song just did not hit. The energy in the room was just like dead. There was a couple notes that I was just struggling with. And I was like, yikes. So the second song, that brought it back up, but I was like, not good. And it's those experiences that get you further along in that journey. I've also, in my corporate job before I was let go in March or whatever, I have been, running meetings and hour-long calls or longer with business owners monthly. And I had a big book of business with over 100 locations and stuff. So like my job was to lead discussions and talk. So, and I did that for many years. I'm making it sound like I'm ancient, but several years, enough to where like I was very comfortable and am very comfortable doing it. Anyway, next one is, another question says, do you ever think about what point revenue you would need to hire help? Do you think our type of business scales good? Our type of business scales really good. I think some of the automation things are going to be key. And if not automation, having products that you can do on batch runs. And what I mean by that is like you can set up your printers to run in like 4 or 8 hour chunks. So you can do maybe like 2 cycles a day or something like that. To hire somebody, that's where it gets different. And you also have to have a product that sells well. Because if you can make, you have to make a lot of money on your products too. You want to try to maximize the profit margins because you have to eat as a business owner. When you're really small, you're better off to, especially when you're selling fewer units, right? Economies of scale in business. When you're selling boutique items that are unique and small, you need to charge more for them so you can make money from them because you're not going to get the same volume of sales. If one of those products really blows up, you can then refine the manufacturing process. 3D printing, there's a lot of ways you can refine that process to make it better for yourself. Some of it will involve redesigns and then also the assembly if that's required afterwards. But yeah, I don't think I would even consider hiring somebody until I was making probably $200,000 in profit, net profit, after cost of goods and stuff. I don't think I'd consider hiring somebody until after that. Maybe 150, but I mean that's a big number. That's a big number. I mean I'm not going to be shy about that. That's a big number, but I think I'm more interested in how can I maximize my own time with good design and good use of the printers, and then make the money myself. Not because I'm trying to be like selfish, but I know at least in the US, and this is probably true in a lot of other places in the world, when you hire somebody, it gets a lot more complicated. Not only do you step into a different role where you have to oversee and understand how to manage somebody, not in like a I'm the manager, do what I say, but like how do you really breathe life into that person so they can feel comfortable and energized and feel good to come to the table, say, hey, I found this, let's do this. And as a business owner, when you're starting, you can do whatever you want. You're the man, right? You can do whatever you want, and that can also become a barrier too, right? And I think that's what you often hear about is somebody will be a solopreneur, move into a business that's scaled, become a boss, and they're a terrible boss. They're a terrible person. Everybody hates them. And the reason why is because they're still the person who says, my ideas are what are good, when in reality you're hiring somebody on to help you with the business, including ideas. And you need to be very open to that. Now, I've never experienced if I'm good at that or not. I hope I am. But, you know, that's something that I'm also maybe not at the moment prepared for. Outside of the fact that I'm not even making enough money to support just my wife and my daughter. So, you know, that's step number one. Priority number one is I need to be able to provide an income for my wife and my daughter. And then, you know, put money in the bank so that girl can retire or whatever she wants to do with life. But that takes a lot of work. You know, that's above the normal for Americans. You know, you don't become an entrepreneur to be below the median wage in the US. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. You can do whatever you want, but like really, I do want to scale to some point and have the flexibility where I can then help other people. Anyway, we're getting like kind of philosophical now. You got me on a little philosophy run there. Zen MFG says, have I used bigger nozzles? I haven't. I don't have good experience with that, so sorry, but not too much info there. Tim Kennedy says, what's your maximum capacity order with 4 printers? Little complicated to answer because every print product is slightly different, but let's assume this. Let's assume that the average order takes about 6 to 8 hours to print. Let's just say 8. I can run 2 print jobs a day, and actually at my max capacity would be 3. We're looking at a total of 3 orders per day on a single printer. Because I can wake up in the morning, do a shift change at, well, that's really tight, but let's say 2. Let's just say 2, that makes it a little easier. Wake up in the morning, come down, change prints over, start them, they go until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And then you swap them over again, you know, coming back in the morning and you do another plate change. If you really need to, you could stay up and, you know, do a 3rd plate change and keep them going. Let's say 2 per. Now the question is, how much money you can make off of that? Well, I guess I haven't done the math exactly, but let's say, hold on a second. If I do 40 divided by, if you can shoot for, let's do a couple numbers, $3 an hour of, pretend that for every hour that your printer runs, you personally make $3 that you could put in your bank account, right? If you're running that for 8 hours, ignore me for using a calculator for 8 times 3, it's 24. What am I doing? Yeah, 24. So you're personally making 24 bucks, and times that by 2 prints a day. That's 48 bucks per printer per day. And then I have 4 printers, so we're looking at 192 bucks. And then you times that by 5 days a week. That's 960 bucks a week, and we times that by 4 weeks, you're looking at $3,840 in money you put into your bank from 4 printers running 2 8-hour cycles with $3 of profit that goes into your bank account for every hour that those printers run. Okay, I hope you all followed along with that math. And then you can do the math again with $5, right? So if you do 5 times 8 times 2 times 4 times 5 times 4, now you're looking at $6,400. So if you go from $3 of profit per hour on your printers up to $5, that changes from like $3,800 to $6,400. You can see where maximizing what profits you're making, you're doing. And Tim Kennedy says, and this is without downtime, LOL. No, it's not without downtime, because we said 2 cycles, 8 hours each. So that is downtime, because you're going to have a large period of time between those prints, because there's 24 hours in the day. You're only running them for 16 hours. So anyway, that is like one way you can kind of do the math and figure it out. But it's really hard to pinpoint exactly. Again, number of sales and figuring that stuff out helps. But it takes a lot of data to really nail that in. Samuel says, you going to have some cooperations for your upcoming videos? Maybe get some money for doing that. I do. I have 2 sponsored videos coming up, and the sponsorships, in my case, involve no money. They involve product that was sent to me. I get to keep it. So I guess that would be the exchange, and then in return, I do a video on it. I have not done any. I've not done any sponsorships on this channel at all. That I've released no sponsorship videos, and the 2 that are coming up have no money involved. There is like a technically, I will have commission links if people like them. They can still buy it, help support the channel. So that would be a financial incentive. But the nice thing is I haven't signed any contracts. So for both of those, there's been no contracts that need to be signed, which means I can say whatever I want. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a hard-nosed guy. So I'll point out the good stuff. I'll point out the things I want are better. But yeah, it'll be cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Some of them are, one of them in particular is something that I've looked at for a long time. Just wasn't sure how it would fit into my workshop. But now that I have the new space with the other printers set up with the A1 minis, it makes more sense. So anyway, more information to come. I still haven't received that in the mail yet, but I'll be doing some stuff on that. NickLink726 says, hey Chris, any tips on shipping? My items on Etsy are very light, from 3 to 5 ounces. Ground Advantage is the cheapest for small envelopes and packages. Yep, Ground Advantage from USPS is fantastic. It arrives fairly quickly. It's very consistent. And you get a business discount if you sign up, or just buy them through Etsy. You get a discount through there. And then I usually just do the products wrapped in this. This is like a $5 roll of paper. It's really thin. I wrap it in this, and then I put that inside of this corrugated material, and then that goes in a box. And it's that simple. This paper helps protect from dust because the roll right here it flakes off a lot of paper dust for some reason. So that helps. Now I will say those rolls are not necessarily cheap. It's not your cheapest packing material, but it is eco-conscious. All the materials that are going in the boxes that I ship are recyclable. The boxes included. So I think that is worth. I think that's worth the what do you call it? The investment. Like for instance, I just ordered another roll of that, which that one's close to being out, and it was like $100 for one roll. Now it lasts a while. It's like 1,600 feet of material when you accordion it out. So it's good. I like it. There are maybe like cheaper options, but I just use what I use. Next one. Thomas, any advice on starting a printing and modeling on-demand business? You need to model products quickly, not quickly, but model a lot of products, list a lot of products, and see what works. You're going to be throwing spaghetti at the wall until you find what sticks. That's how it goes. Yeah, the advice would be you need to start getting products live. That's, I think, the most important one. You can model all day, you can have ideas all day, but until you execute on any of those ideas, you'll have no data on what is working and what's not working. For many years, I was the king of ideas and the squire of execution. That's such a dumb analogy. I was terrible with executing. I'd get like 99% there, and then I'd be like, oh no, I just haven't worked on it in a while. So yeah, I think that's what one cool thing about this YouTube channel is, like, this is the longest business commitment to myself and to you know, something that I've dedicated and worked on. This is coming up on the end of January 15th. January 17th will be the 2-year anniversary of my first sale on Etsy, and that'll be 2 years of me working on this business. Yeah, I mean, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. That's what they say. All right. We've got a few more minutes here. So any last questions we can go through? I forgot to pull something out for dinner. Uh-oh. Probably going to be a spaghetti night. Because you can, I don't know why, but the packs, the 1 pound packs of beef are pretty easy to thaw quickly. Yan Yampaki says, have you gotten any money from YouTube? Yes, I do every month. I make anywhere from $300 to $500 a month on YouTube ads from you guys watching the channel. So thank you. Yeah, it just varies. Obviously, that's very scalable. So, you know, the bigger the channel grows, the bigger the reach I have, the more money that can come in from that. But the thing with YouTube ads is it really fluctuates. Actually, right now and leading through January is going to be the most money made on YouTube ads, because that's when most advertisers are spending money on YouTube because of Christmas sales. So when more people are buying ads on YouTube that get served on channels like mine, we make more money. So that's why you see a lot of big content creators kind of pump content out in Q3 or Q4 of the year for that reason. I probably should be doing that too, to be honest, but it does help. Goes towards business purchases and camera equipment, all that other type of stuff. Barbara says, hello, are you our Bamboo Lab H2S's good 3D printer? I hear they are very good. I don't have one. Bamboo, if you're listening and would like to send me one, I'll check it out. I don't think they're going to do that, but yeah, I hear they're really good printers. I know somebody, I've chatted with them about the printer. Apparently it's very good. It's just huge, right? And I hear it's very heavy. So get some help to put it on a table, because it's like a backbreaker for sure. It's a backbreaker. Oh, okay. Let's see here. A little plug for myself. If you want to support the channel, you can go over on Patreon and do so. That also helps the channel. It takes a lot of time to put these videos out. I've been trying to get in the swing of things, and then my printers decided to all explode at the same time. For Bamboo listening, they did not actually explode. That's a disclaimer. Don't sue me. But feel free to check out, I have some STLs and worksheets that you can buy on there if you want that, or you can sign up. I do have a pipe you can get your name on. Ooh, look, I can actually show you. If you want to be an ultra supporter, you can get your name up here with a few other people on the pipe to live an eternity in my workshop, which is kind of cool. I think it's cool that people even wanted to do that to begin with. Pretty awesome. And then if you weren't here earlier, you can go check out my Etsy shop, because I am selling these little keychains. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I think that's honestly it, guys. My brain, if it is a little mushy, I'm gonna have another really late night, because I'm still trying to get these printers all fired back up. And sales are going good, and they're just ramping up. We're well on our way to reach well past 100 sales this month, and we're not even at the end with Black Friday. So, yeah. Oh, that's the last update I wanted to tell everybody. I am offering one-on-one, 1-hour sessions for me to help. They're like little consulting sessions or whatever. I'm putting together a little worksheet that you guys can fill out if you're interested in doing this. It will cost money. It is a service I'm providing, and I am scheduling one meeting a week, so I'll have 4 slots a month currently. I've already had a few people reach out to get their name on the books, so I have a small list running. If you're interested in doing a one-on-one session with me, just heads up, it's going to be like probably $200 to $250. I've not decided on price yet, but it's going to be one of those. If you're interested to get on that list, shoot me an email. My email is in my channel's description, the bio, and I will put you on the list for people, and then you can meet with me. The whole point of that is to kind of get a one-on-one time to go through what you're currently working on, what you're trying to do, and then help develop some action steps. So at the end of the call, you can walk away and say, here are the 3 to 5 things that I'm doing for my business in the next, I don't know, whatever time frame. So yeah, that's a thing. I'm actually really excited about that, because one of the things I really missed from my other job that I did was, you know, running meetings with people. That was a lot of fun, because a lot of good ideas come from it, and then a lot of good stuff comes from those meetings. So anyway, shoot me an email. We are at time. We've got 25 seconds left. I'm going to take a nice old swig. Thank you all for being here. Your guys' support really means a lot. It's been a blast. You kind of bring some sanity into my life. If you miraculously know how to fix all of my Bamboo P1Ss, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll be still running some tests tonight. And I do absolutely have a video coming out this week. It's already in the works. The script is, and we'll have some stuff coming out for Thanksgiving time. I will be traveling around that time for family, but we will definitely have something out to show with you guys. Stay tuned for next week's live stream. I'll put an update out. It's probably not going to be on Wednesday. I think I will be with family at that time, but we might just adjust it to Tuesday or something like that. We'll have to see. I might have to skip next week's live stream, which is a bummer, but might be the best so everybody can go spend some time with family. But anyway, thank you all. I will see you all later. Go grab yourself a cup of coffee and enjoy the rest of your day.